Page 7. Doc tells Marty to meet him at Peabody's farm at 1:15 and Marty says,
Peabody's farm? Where's that?
And Doc says,
I'm sorry, I mean Twin Pines Mall. I still think of it as Peabody's farm, but I guess that was before your time.
Mr. Strickland is still listening into this phone conversation and now he's smiling because he knows whatever this is about, it could have waited until class was over. This means he was right all along, you guys. But don't take my word for it.
He had seen through the sham after all, and he experienced a surge of pride in his continuing ability to outwit those nearly 50 years his younger.
This book, on Mr. Strickland, yes. Let the pride surge, Gerald. Your emotions are crazy intense. So, back to the conversation. Marty and Doc talk for a bit and then Marty gets to deliver the first big, memorable, quotable line of the franchise.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Wait, whoops, ha ha ha, no. That's the movie. In the book instead Marty says,
Let me get this straight. You want me to meet you at Twin Pines Mall at 1:15 tomorrow morning?
I'm serious, that's the line. There's not even a reason for him to say it. Here's the conversation that precedes it. Doc says,
Meet me at Twin Pines Mall at 1:15.
Marty says,
It's past 1:15.
Doc says,
I meant 1:15 in the morning.
Marty says,
Tomorrow morning?
Then clarifies right away with,
About 10 hours from now?
Doc says,
Yeah.
And then Marty delivers his big let me get this straight line. It's like they're in a Who's on First routine, only instead of jokes, there's just repeated confirmation of a useless fact. I say, are they to meet at Twin Pines Mall at 1:15 a.m. tomorrow morning? Could this be clarified somehow? Here I cheated and peeked ahead, and when the time machine shows up there's no let me get this straight line there, so whatever screenplay editor moved it from this scene to that one deserves an award, and the award will say basic storytelling competence. Anyway, and this is already longer than the page itself, Doc says his familiar I've made a major breakthrough and I'll need your assistance line that we recognize from the start of the actual movie. In that version, Marty's in Doc's lab. Marty asks why he can't tell him now, and Mr. Strickland, still listening in, nods in response. And it's awesome because we switch back to Strickland's point of view.
Yes, Strickland, thought, do explain more. Whatever it was sounded definitely shady and perhaps illegal. Most students are notoriously lazy, not at all likely to be awake at such an early hour. What could they be engaged in? He licked his lips, fascinated at the possibilities in this telephone call. But the one known as Doc was obviously a cagey customer.
I make no apologies for drawing attention to a scene in which Mr. Strickland licks his lips, thinks of someone as the one known as Doc, and busts out the phrase cagey customer. If Mr. Strickland licks his lips again, I promise you, I will bold that too. This I swear. Page 8. George Gipe, author of Steven Spielberg Presents, Back to the Future, a Robert Zemeckis film, a novel by George Gipe, based on a screenplay by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, has heard our prayers, and on this page he responds, more Strickland action, coming right up.
Marty and Doc finish their conversation and Doc says good luck at your gig this afternoon and Marty says how did you know about that? But Doc's already hung up.
Whoa? Is this foreshadowing? Has Doc somehow already visited the future? Whatever you guys, it doesn't matter because Strickland's here and he's got some opinions about the word gig.
Gig, Strickland repeated inwardly. He had heard the word used before, of course. It usually referred to something musical, but he had heard it used less definitely. Perhaps whatever Marty McFly was involved in was shady enough to be mentioned elliptically. But no matter. The gig, innocent or evil, would not be attended by McFly this afternoon.
Yes. Strickland doesn't understand teen slang, and even though his job is wrangling teens, he doesn't care to. He's so awesome. Also, gigs can be innocent or evil. Remember that, not for this story, It's for your own personal development. So Marty goes to leave the office, but Strickland grabs him with
a slight smile playing at the ends of his thin lips.
More Strickland lip action. You want it, you got it, and asks him about the call. Everyone all right? Your family well? What's the emergency? Marty swallows, gathers his courage, and stone cold makes up a story.
There's an aunt in Wisconsin, he said. And an uncle. They're both crippled. They were in a car accident about 10 years.
Ago? I guess. Strickland interrupts Marty's story of what's either a decade-old car accident or an epic 10-year-long car accident still in progress with a curveball droppings. Attention, this is a perfect Strickland line. It doesn't show up in the movie, which is too bad because I love it. It's not obscene, but it's gross, and it's right at that level of authority figure wants to swear but doesn't, and so rides the line knowing you can't complain about it. Bull droppings. Anyway, the page is over.